Good morning. Today we will start with the next chapter, and the topic is the energy transfer, and general energy analysis. Now, here we'll discuss about the microscopic kinetic energy and the microscopic kinetic energy. So, we had discussed in the previous video that there is a microscopic energy in the molecules, which is the vibration, rotation, and different types of motions of these molecules. And at microscopic, when this whole medium, you can say whole fluid, at a lump sum we will take as a microscopic. So whatever the, you can say, microscopic energy is not doing any work on the turbine. So this is our turbine here. So if because microscopic kinetic energy is a more disordered form, so one molecule will in direction, another will moving in direction. So microscopy, that is not useful for us any use, but macroscopy, when this whole fluid is channelized and it will move in this direction, this same direction, when all the molecules move, and they will put a, you can say, they will strike at this wheel here, and then whatever the rotation energy, that will give us mechanical power. So microscopic kinetic energies are not useful. It is a disorder or disorganized form of energy, while macroscopic kinetic energy is a more organized form of energy, which is useful for us. Distinction should be made between macroscopic kinetic energy of an object as a whole and microscopic kinetic energy of its molecules that constitute the sensible internal energy of the object. The kinetic energy of an object is an organized form of energy associated with the orderly motion of all molecules in one direction in a straight path or around an axis. In contrast, the kinetic energies of the molecules are completely random and highly disorganized. As you will see in later chapters, the organized energy is much more valuable than disorganized energy. And a major application area of thermodynamics is the conservation of disorganized energy into organized energy work. So next is our nuclear energy. So the best known fission reaction involves the split of uranium atom, the U-235, into other elements, and is commonly used to generate electricity in nuclear power plants. 440 of them in 2004 were reported, and they are generating 3,63,000 megawatt worldwide to power nuclear submarines and aircraft carriers, and even power spacecraft, as well as building nuclear bombs. So the percentage of electricity produced by nuclear power is 75% in France, 25% in Japan, 28% in Germany, and 20% in United States. You can see here the uranium-235, which is absorbs neutron. So this neutron will absorb neutrons and splits during the fission process. It produces cesium and rubidium-93 atom and plus 3 neutrons, which will further go to strike with the next you can say uranium atom. So, and it will produce 3.1 collision, such collision will produce 3.2 into 10 raised power minus 11 joule of energy. In practical terms, the complete fission of 1 kg of uranium 235 release 6.73 into 10 raised power 10 kilojoule of energy, which is almost equal to 3000 tons of coal. So you can see here only 1 kg of uranium is equivalent to 3000 tons of coal. It will produce same energy. Therefore, the same amount of fuel a nuclear fission reaction releases several million times more energy than a chemical reaction. The safe disposal of used nuclear fuel, however, remains a concern. Another form of energy is nuclear fusion. The huge amount of energy radiated by sun and other stars originated from the nuclear fusion. When two heavy hydrogen nuclei combine during a fusion process, they produce a helium-3 atom, a free neutron, and 5.1 raised power into 10 raised power minus 30 joule of energy. So you can see here two helium will react, and when they combine, they will form helium, a smaller atom or a larger atom, but they will release a one neutron and this amount of energy. So this is very large energy. Fusion reactions are much more difficult to achieve in practice because of strong repulsion between positively charged nuclei called the Coulomb repulsion. To overcome this repulsive force and to enable the two nuclei to fuse together, the energy level of nuclei must be raised by heating them to about 100 million degrees Celsius. But such high temperature are found only in stars or in exploding bomb. In fact, the uncontrolled fusion reaction in a hydrogen bomb is initiated by a small atomic bomb. The uncontrolled fusion reaction was achieved in early 1950, but all the efforts since then to achieve controlled fusion by massive lasers powerful magnetic fields and electric currents to generate power have failed. We will discuss about the mechanical energy, because most of engineering systems are designed to transport a fluid from one location to another location. So they does not include nuclear, chemical or thermal sort of energy. The only energy is the transfer of you can say mechanical work. The mechanical energy can be defined as a form of energy that can be converted to mechanical work completely and directly by an idle mechanical device such as an idle turbine. Idle turbine means you can say kinetic and pressure energies are the familiar forms of mechanical energy. So we can take example of pump. The pump transfers mechanical energy to fluid by raising its pressure, and the turbine extracts mechanical energy from a fluid by dropping its pressure. So we are taking example of a conventional pump which is used to raise the water level or pressure, and a turbine which is in hydraulic power plant. We are not including the turbine of a thermal power plant. So we are taking the hydraulic turbine where only pressure, kinetic energy and fluid level will change. So you can say, therefore the mechanical energy of a flowing fluid can be expressed in a unit mass basis. So this is the pressure component, this is velocity kinetic energy component, and this is your change in the level of the fluid. So we can write it as this is your mechanical energy of the energy of you can say pure mechanical energy of the fluid. Now what is change in the mechanical? When fluid will do some work, so this energy will change. So we can write as when mass fluid of fluid, m dot is the mass fluid of fluid, then the mechanical energy change of fluid during incompressible when density is constant. So this is the final pressure minus initial pressure. This is change in mechanical energy of the fluid. This is kinetic energy final minus initial kinetic energy, and this is your datum, which means the height of the level which fluid has raised. So you can solve from this equation. So this, if E delta E mechanical is greater than 0, it means the mechanical work supplied to the fluid, and if delta E is negative, it means the fluid work has been extracted from the fluid. In case of compressor, or you can say water pump, we do work on the fluid. In case of hydraulic power plant turbine, we extract work from the fluid. Next is your energy transfer by heat. Energy can cross the boundary of a closed system in two distinct forms, heat and work. This is your closed boundary. So either energy can be transferred in the form of heat, or it can be transferred in the form of some form of work. It is important to distinction between these two forms of energy. Therefore, we will discuss first to form the sound basis for development of laws of thermodynamics. Energy transfer takes place between the body and the surrounding medium until thermal equilibrium is established. That is, the body and the medium reach the same temperature. You can take the example of this can. This is at 25 degrees Celsius and the room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Then there is no heat transfer. It means heat will transfer when there is a temperature difference. When can is at 50 degrees Celsius, the rate of heat transfer is 8 joule per second, and when can is at 5 degrees Celsius, the rate of heat transfer is more. So several heat is defined as a form of energy that is transferred between two systems by virtue of temperature difference. Several phrases in common use today, such as heat flow, heat addition, heat rejection, heat absorption, heat removal, heat gain, heat loss, heat storage, heat generation, electrical heating, resisting heating, friction heating, gas heating, heat of reaction, liberation of heat, specific heat, sensible heat, latent heat, waste heat, body heat, process heat, heat sink, and heat source are not consistent with the strict thermodynamic meaning of the term heat, which limits its use to transfer of thermal energy during a process. However, these phrases are deeply rooted in our vocabulary, and they are used by both ordinary people and scientists without causing any misunderstanding, since they are usually interpreted properly instead of being taken literally. For example, the phrase body heat is understood to mean the thermal energy content of the body. Likewise, the heat flow is understood to mean the heat transfer of thermal energy, not the flow of fluid-like substance called heat. So basically, what is heat transfer? That is transfer energy by virtue of temperature difference. Once in the surrounding, you can say, take example of potato here. Consider the hot baked potato one more time. The potato contains energy, but this energy is heat transfer only as it passes through the skin of the potato to reach the air, as shown in figure. You can see here, this is baked potato at high temperature. So 2 kilojoule of thermal energy is transferred, and this 2 kilojoule can be taken as heat, and this 2 kilojoule thermal energy is transferred to the environment. So this much amount of heat is transferred. So next is the process during which there is no heat transfer is called adiabatic process. If these all processes are related with the heat transfer, but in this system you can see here this is your adiabatic system. There is no heat transfer between system and surrounding. These type of processes called adiabatic processes. In internal combustion engine we came across these processes. So the word adiabatic comes from Greek word adiabatos, which means not to be passed. There are two ways of process can be adiabatic. Either the system is well insulated so that the only negligible amount of heat can pass through the boundary, or both the system and the surroundings are at say same temperature and therefore there is no driving force, temperature difference for heat transfer. An adiabatic process should not be confused with an isothermal process. Even though there is no heat transfer during an adiabatic process, the energy content and thus the temperature of the system can still be changed by other means such as work. Let's say take example to understand what is heat transfer rate, and what is the amount of total heat transferred. So this is 30 kilojoule of heat is transferred to this system. So Q is your 30, that is capital Q. Mass of this is 2 kg, and the time transfer to this heat is taken 5 seconds. So this Q dash is Q dot is your heat transfer. So it is 6 kilowatt, and Q is your 15 kilojoule per kilogram, because for total it is 30 kilojoule. And for per unit mass, small q is 15 kilojoule. So sometimes it is desirable to know the rate of heat transfer, the amount of heat transfer per unit time. Means we know that total heat transfer is 30 kilojoule, but we want to know what is the rate of heat transfer. Instead of the total heat transfer over some time interval, the heat transfer rate is denoted by q dot, and it is where that over dot stands for time derivative. The heat transfer rate q dot has a unit of kilojoule per second, which is equivalent to kilowatt. When Q dot varies with time, the amount of heat transfer during a process is determined by integrating over the time interval of process. So you can check here that your total amount of heat transfer is equal to heat transfer rate multiplied by time. So there are three terms here, that is capital Q, total heat transferred, and Q dot, that is a derivative and the rate of heat transfer rate, and then small q, that is the heat transfer per unit of the mass. Historical background on heat. When the concept of heat was originated, it was you can say totally confusion what actually heat is. Few told that it is a fluid, some sort of fluid, but however it was only in the middle of the 19th century that we had a true physical understanding of nature of heat, thanks to the development at that time of kinetic theory, which treats molecules as small tiny balls that are in motion and thus possess kinetic energy. Heat is then defined as energy associated with the random motion of atoms and molecules. So heat is not a fluid, it is just the random motion of molecules, and representation when molecules will transfer their kinetic energy to other molecules, we can say the motion is transferred to another molecule, energy is transferred, and that we reflect as a heat transfer, or we can measure in the form of temperature. Although it was suggested in the 18th and early 19th century that heat is manifestation of motion at a molecular level called the life force, the prevailing view of heat until the mid of 19th century was based on the caloric theory proposed by French chemist. The caloric theory assessed that heat is fluid-like substance called the calorie, that is a massless, colorless, odorless and tasteless substance that can be poured from one body to another. When calorie was added to a body, its temperature rises, and when calorie was removed from a body, its temperature decreases. When a body could not contain any more calorie, much the same way as when a glass of water could not dissolve any more salt or sugar, the body was said to be saturated with calorie. So this interpretation gave rise to the term saturated liquid and saturated vapor that are still in use today. So this is up to here about the heat transfer. There are three modes of heat transfer also, that is your conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction is transfer of energy from one more energetic particles of substance to adjacent less energetic ones as a result of interaction between particles. Convection is transfer of energy between a solid surface and adjacent fluids that is in motion, and radiation is transformed energy due to emission of electromagnetic waves, like for example the waves come from sun. So this is up to here the heat transfer. Thank you for watching.